What's going on, guys? We are back with another video. If you're reading the title, yes, the day El Choppo Jr., our GT500 is going on the dyno. If you guys are new here, well, let's bring you back a little bit. Back in October or September, I think, or maybe August, something like that, we picked up this 2013 GT500 from a friend of mine. We got a smoking deal, literally. We actually took this car to Mustang Week, we dynoed it, we did a little bit of tweaking on it, tried to see if we can fix the smoking part of the deal, and unfortunately it seemed like we had to tear into the engine, and what we found was something crazy wild. What the is that? This car is a early 2013 model. It was made in May of 2012, and it was a Ford corporate vehicle owned, and long story short, it had cylinder pressure sensors that were drilled into the head that were basically uncapped, that were just kind of left there for, you know, 8 years, 10 years, something like that, to basically cause some issues, and it was leaking oil into the combustion chamber. Well, we already had the engine apart and we can't leave well enough alone, so Cody and I, we worked up a plan. We got some Wiseco 10.5-to-1 compression pistons, Marauder power outer rods, ARP everything, some Todd Warren NSR cams, tossed it all back in there. We couldn't leave the stock blower on it, so we packed ourselves with a Whipple 4-liter. We got the DD149 from Lethal. We got a Whipple monoblade on it. We're on E85. We got the Mantic triple disc. We got Cook's long tube headers. We got the Lethal fuel system, and we have ID 1300X injectors.
And we have a bunch of pulleys to play with too.
Yes. Shout out to Whipple, they sent us over some pulleys. We're shooting for 1100. These injectors, in my opinion, are very undersized for this application, but your boy was going broke over here, so we put some 1300s in it because 1700s are expensive. Old Andrew said, oh, let's just make 800 or 900, maybe 1,000. Now, it's 1100 is the goal. We're not going for 1300. We're trying to make a really fun street car, but we want to try to hit that 1100 number, at least a 4-digit today. Hopefully we don't run into any issues. We're tuning it here live. If you guys need some tunes, hit me up. But yeah, stock ECU, let's get into it. Dude, it just made 896, 781, 17.4 pounds of boost. It sounds like it spun the tires on the head.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It definitely sounded like it. Well, let's see. Let's feel. They're a little toasty.
It's either the tires or the clutch, but I don't think that the clutch.
I don't think it's the clutch. It sounded like the tire, to be honest.
Dude, 896, 781. Dude,
that's not a lot of boost either.
And
we got
you want to know what it made peak power at? At the rev limiter. The stock rev limiter, 6,900.
Turn that John up, dude.
We're gonna turn it up to 75. You want to know what the timing was?
I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna say 15.
It was 15 degrees.
Oh,
peak. I set this tune up super safe while I broke it in, and you know, so I can make those few hits on the street. Dude, you know, unstrap it. It's perfect.
No. We can't unstrap it, dude. We need 4 digits there.
All right, so I can go make some changes here, but our fuel trims were fantastic. Within 2% through the whole pole. It looks phenomenal. So we're gonna up the rev limiter to 7,500. We're gonna start trickling in some timing, and we'll probably try to hucker down the back so it doesn't spin on the hit anymore. I'm wondering if we can crack into 1,000 on this pulley.
Maybe. We're not far off. We need 100 horsepower. This timing's pretty soft.
We got at least 5 degrees to work with in peak efficiency. First hit, it spun pretty bad. You can see the torque was just shooting to the moon on that first little hit, and it spun. I had to abort, but you can see here the second full pull made 912, 802, and I'm gonna have to double check. I must have ran into a spark limit somewhere else. You know, I tune these things from scratch, so you know, because we only went up to 15 degrees again. You can see our spark source is borderline, so I'm gonna go take a look and see why. You know, it's like that fuel trim's perfect. Riding a 7.8, 8.0, you know, Lambda all the way through, just looking money. 912, 808, made 912 at 7,400. It looks phenomenal. 17 pounds of boost, or 18 pounds of boost. We're trying to drop the tire pressure, but I think we're gonna have to bring the tire a little bit lower on the roller. I think we might have set it too up high on the top, and it's just spinning too much. I mean, these are street tires. I prefer to tune a car on street tires, but this thing makes a lot of torque and it makes it right on the hit. These things are weird. I don't know what it is about these GT500s, is they're really complicated to get them to hit the timing you want. So we just slammed some timing into it. Again, it was 15 degrees on the last run, and it looked great. It made 912 just because we spun it up a little bit higher, raised the rev limiter. I'm shooting for 20 degrees, 21 degrees, 19, something like that. And if this does what I think it'll do in this peak efficiency timing area, especially since we're on E85, I would expect to see 4 digits. So if it does,
4 digits.
4 digits.
1,000
on the wagon wheel.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Also, if it doesn't spin, because apparently that's a problem that we're
you know, honestly, it's because I said that it might spin.
Yeah,
it's my fault, to be honest.
It's not gonna spin. All right, let's do it.
Time to do another pull. El Choppo Jr. Now we're still on the big 4.0 pulley, and you know, it's making about 17, 18 pounds of boost, and we got some room to go there. We'll see what happens.
Spun a lot.
Oh yeah, it did.
965,
905. You should have seen the cloud of smoke that came out when you hit that limiter, bud. Oh my goodness.
It did add some timing, but this thing spun hard.
Oh yeah, it did.
So, you know, people are not going to believe us. They're going to be like, you don't know what you're doing, it's Rich. 7.8, 8.0 Lambda, literally exactly what target is. All we can think is the exhaust on this car, especially with all the smoking issues, coated with stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we have stock mufflers back there, and maybe we're cooking the mufflers. You know,
I don't think there's any packing in those mufflers. It's not that kind, but I do think there's a lot of oil. There's probably some carbon all in there, and we're just giving it a little Italian tune-up, man, cleaning it out.
So that time we did go out to 21.5 degrees. If I had to guess, I'd say we probably overshot our efficiency zone, but we definitely picked up a lot of power. You can see that here. You can see the big bubble when it spun and then it hooked back up. But 965, 905 does unfortunately seem like we're gonna have to do a pulley change to hit that 1K mark.
Hey, but that's a lot to make on a big old pulley like this.
Yeah, so 965 on the 4.0, 10% lower. We're gonna take a look at this log, but you know, I'm probably gonna back that timing back to about 20 degrees, 21. You know, I just happened to I sat down at the table over there and I said, you're gonna take over 15 degrees this time, for show. So I'm happy with that. You can clearly see it's not detonating. I mean, it's smooth. So 965, 905. And we're just gonna take a look at this log and go from there. But yeah, we're probably gonna have to break into that 375 pulley, which should be 2-3 more pounds, which
That'll definitely do it.
should be good for, I would hope, 50 to 70 horsepower. You got to remember, we'll also be getting into peak efficiency zone of the blower too, because barely spinning this big old thing.
Yeah, I see a box
That's
with a Whipple logo on it.
That's boost in a box right there.
Boost in a box right there. 3.5 and a 3.75. I think we should just send it, put the 3.5 on there.
I think we got to do a belt change if we put a 3.5 on there.
I think you're probably right. That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
That 3.75, we can do the quick swapperoo ski.
There we go. That's the guy we want.
Still pretty big.
Still pretty big, but look at that. Nice little 375 for you.
Dude, look at that.
That ought to spice her up.
65. Look at this spin down low.
That thing got some horse torques.
Damn. So that's 18.9 pounds at 7,500. Again, the smoke, you guys can come down and look at this log. I know there's going to be people being like, yo, bro, why is your car's always smoking? The GT500 is always smoking. Look at Lambda. Literally on target. 11.4 air fuel E85 high boost. Some of you guys might be saying 11.7, 11.7, 11.7, 12.0. No. E85 high boost is a 7.8 Lambda target. And first of all, if you're talking in air fuel, don't even talk to me. But I do like to break it down for the guys who are hardcore stuff. But, you know, if you think you're a hotshot tuner and you only know how to read AFR, you got a lot of learning to do, because Lambda is the core value and AFR is derived from Lambda. And if you look at the graph, look at my fuel, it is perfect. So I don't know why it's smoking. It's not oil. I think it's just the junk in the freaking exhaust, and we're blowing it out.
That thing's got probably, what, every bit of 70,000 miles worth of just junk.
Yeah.
So,
well, this thing smoked like a chimney.
And also, here's another thing to think about. That's the most air that's flown through that exhaust probably ever. And now we're moving a lot of air really fast. Got a lot of velocity going out of there.
I mean, look at the friggin' dyno graph. It's beautiful. Beautiful, dude.
Well, got 4.0 pulley off, 375 going on.
I try to use the same belt. Oh no. Oh no.
Hold on, wait. Hold on a second.
Okay, it looked like it slammed against the case. All right, we're good.
Same with the stock one. Calm down there, bud. It's okay.
We need to make 1,000, Bradley.
Bro's like spinning over there, dude. He's gonna freak out.
375 installed. The belt looking a little worse for wear. Got decent tension. Man, that's hot down in there. So we're gonna see what happens there. Either this belt's gonna hold together, or it's gonna slip, or it's gonna explode. But one thing's for sure, the tires are definitely gonna spin more than they already were.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see by how much more. Hopefully by like 1,000 horsepower more, you know what I'm saying?
I think we need to get it lower on the roller.
Again,
yeah.
I think we should just send it right now and see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's not like the car's
Because it's just spinning down low. It's not spinning up top.
Down low, and then it catches as soon as the tire gets in.
That's right.
I don't even know what brand. What are these things?
You got Nittos back here?
Like Nittos?
I think so.
I don't know what.
Yeah, Nitto,
They're like Olsen.
Motivo. What's the tread wear on these rigs?
Probably like 300. 400?
Keep going. 560s.
No, Jason, what are you doing?
No wonder we're spinning.
Damn.
Damn, dude, you got some dang winter tires on this rig. Just about. Goodness.
Bet you'll last a long time.
All right, first pull with the 375. This blower's already loud, so it's probably going to get a whole lot louder. Whoa! Hold up. Dang! All right. We're going to try again. Good. That was wild. Oh my goodness. Look at that boy sweating in there. Brother. I think we're gonna have to move this car. I don't know. It looks like he's gonna try it one more time. Dude, look how hazy it is in there.
That's gotta be just the nastiness stuck in the exhaust.
God bless.
I pedaled it.
That thing hit the limiter instantly. I saw you trying to pedal it. I saw you try to roll into it too, and nothing.
So slow into it.
Just nothing, dude. Goodness.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, we're gonna have to make another adjustment here, I guess. How are we feeling down here?
Hot.
Hot?
I've never had a car spin this bad on the dyno.
Yeah, well, you've never had a car with these kind of arguably not good tires at this power level either. I'm just saying, you know, if this did have the Marauder's drag pack on it, it probably wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. But I typically don't run like this drag tires on the dyno anyway.
Well, that's true.
The race car made 1268 on Goodyear Eagle F1s.
Yeah, but those are probably softer than this thing.
Fair point. Fair point.
Dude, it's just too spicy.
Yeah.
What'd it make? Did it even try?
Like 950 spinning.
Oh, shoot. All right, made some adjustments. Tire pressure dropped down, and we moved the car forward a little bit more on the rollers. So hopefully we can actually get it to lay down. Good night. What the heck? Brother, what the heck?
We're gonna have to change the tires. You can see the car move, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
These tires,
Tires ain't doing it.
tires ain't doing it, Chief. We're gonna have to, might have to steal Marauder's wheels. You know, it says, okay, go grab the Goodyear, you know, the Eagle F1.
Well, we might be in the same boat, dude.
Same boat, 373, and this thing's probably making 900, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque on the hit.
Yeah, this thing's jamming.
Yeah, let's let everything cool down, swap the tires, and go from there.
Hey, for the first time ever, I want to say, sweat check?
It's hot, bro. But look.
This boy is more sweaty than me.
Look, dude.
But, gotta do what we gotta do.
Marauder got robbed.
I know, man. Marauder on the stockies.
That looks decent.
All right, I'm rocking with it.
18, so.
I'm rocking with it. Hopefully it'll settle down a little bit more. You got a little bit of space in there, but not bad. All right, we got the drag pack, feed locks on the GT500. El Choppo Jr. starting to live up to his name already.
Look. We had no other option.
Yeah, we really didn't. It was either.
Trust me, I did not want to do it. You see how soaked in sweat I am?
Yeah, dude, give us a little 360 right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at that. You got wet cheeks.
Oh. Alright, please hook.
Please hook. Well, hey, look. We went from some 560 tread wear tires to some 100 tread wear tires. Got the R2s on this rig now. I mean, I don't know what they're aired up to. Looks kind of low. Probably, I'd say our odds of success have increased from 0 to at least 75%. All right, man.
Now I have PTSD of like laying into it and it's just like.
It's either gonna. I just don't see how it doesn't make 1,000 horsepower. I mean, unless our buddy Mr. Greenbelt over here just, you know, passes away, I don't see anything stopping us now. We really need this thing to hook up. All right, first pull with the bead locks on, freshly robbed from the Marauder. We got the whole recipe to make 1,000. about?
Clutch is slipping.
Huh?
What else could it be? Something slipping. It feels like it's a tire, but I don't know. More power definitely made it worse.
I just don't feel convinced that it's the clutch.
Doesn't feel like it, but well, you know, we don't always have a smooth time on the dyno. Actually, most of the time I have a smooth time on the dyno, but it appears that we have some sort of issue, and I can't say exactly. Well, I'm pretty positive it's the clutch. We've looked at the speed. You know, it was hard to tell earlier. We had a 560 tread wear tire. You know, the car looks like it's unsettled and moving, but after we got these, you know, the 555 R2 on there, while the car still does kind of look like it's moving and unsettling, you know, you can see that the speed on the log and the dyno doesn't shoot up, and the RPM is shooting up. So unfortunately, we have a clutch issue. The signs aren't there, meaning smell. You know, you can normally smell slipping clutch. You can normally see some smoke slipping of this caliber. We are seeing some smoke out of the tailpipes, but like I said, I'm not really concerned with that because I'm pretty positive we're blowing out all the junk in the exhaust. You guys saw how it used to smoke, you know, when it had the engine issue.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of oil, carbon, plus it also sat for a few months. You know, it's hard to say what's in there.
I'm not concerned there. I wouldn't say this is a loss. We definitely got a win. We made, what, 890 first hit.
Yep.
On the tune that we've been driving around on, so I'm really happy with that. Then we made a little bit over 9, and then we added some timing in. Same pulley, it made 965. I'll put those dyno sheets up here right now. Now, we did go down to this 375, which we think is going to add 3 or 4 pounds of boost. I think if this clutch would have hold, I think this is 1,050, 1,100 combo right here. And that's why I think we were riding the edge of this clutch. We may not have put enough miles to break it in. I'm going to talk with Mantic. You know, I've used them forever. I used it on the red car. I have a spare triple disc as well. We're going to try to see what the best move forward is, but we're going to take a step back, you know, make sure everything's good. I mean, motor's running fantastic. We revved it out to 7,500 RPM. It's making power there. The NSR cams are working great. The new monoblade, we just put that on. The Whipple, everything's working great except the clutch. So, you know, it is a pretty expensive clutch, but, you know, stuff happens, and we're going to get it to the bottom of it. If you guys enjoyed the video, you know, not always, you know, perfect. Still made 965 horsepower, even though it's a little disappointing. But we'll be back. Hopefully, we'll get to the bottom of this clutch issue. Again, this is still a theory, and we'll be back to make that 1100.